Hello and welcome. In this tutorial, we're going to use a transistor to amplify the current inside the LED by passing it through our own body. So we're going to electrocute ourselves with a very small current and control the brightness of an LED using that. So let's first have a look at this transistor. I'm going to put it in here and I don't know, let's zoom in. You'll notice merge. Okay, so I'm sure that in this image right now you can see the three legs. The first leg, that one, is the collector, which is always connected to the plus. So our goal is to get a current between the plus right there, this red rail, through us into the base, which is then going to control how bright an LED is, depending on how tight we hold onto the ends of a wire. So let's get this show on the road. I will actually show you the circuit we're building. So right here, we're going to start by connecting the emitter to the minus, the collector through an LED to the 5 volts, and then we're going to put in these two wires. So I'm going to zoom in so that you can see what I'm doing. And here we go. Red or green LED? Red or green LED? I'll just go with red for now. So up top of that drawing was a collector from plus to right there. The minus, the emitter, is connected to the blue rail. So I think I got it. Let's see. Yep. And all we need now is the two wires. So we're gonna go the blue one to the base, the white one to 5 volts. If you touch these two wires together, you're gonna burn out the LED at the moment, so do not do that. But if you touch them to your fingers, look at that. You control the brightness on how tightly you hold them. And if they both go into that, if both of these guys sort of go into the finger, I'll try to get the view good for you guys. Interesting, you still have to press in. So the very outer layer of your skin is not that conductive. But if you hold tight, there you go. You get the effects. So let me just try with a green LED for fun. Will it work as well? Will it be brighter? Green is the color that humans see the best. So always fun to experiment with red and green. Alright, green. Not as bright. Not as bright. The red was brighter, definitely. Okay. So next up, I just want to demonstrate the same principle with a variable resistor. So I'm just going to plunk this guy in anywhere, and I'm going to try to make the same circuit flow through this. This is 10K, whereas the resistance in my body is huge. It's like probably measured in mega ohms. So I'm going to get a resistor in to connect that to the emitter, so we limit the current in the overall circuit so we don't burn the LED. And we're now going to flow the current through this guy. I guess I can just get this guy into there. We don't have to use the long wires. I think it's easier for you guys to see when I use the short little ones. And this, well, this is gonna go from one of the legs, either one, into the base. There we go. So, in theory, we should be able to dim it, although it's gonna have a very narrow transition area. Yeah, right there. Dimmed, bright, off, middle. There it is. So right now we have used the variable resistor to control the brightness of an LED through a transistor. And it's, as you can see, the effects are much stronger. Even the slightest of turns has a big impact. That was very slight, and this also is barely there, and we go basically from 0 close to full brightness. Okay, now you guys know how to use a transistor. Now, one last note, perhaps, just in case you're gonna go from here to try to construct more advanced circuits. Let me go back to this view. Make sure you look at the transistor data sheets, and what you're gonna find is that they behave very interestingly. They're almost a little bit temperamental. The transistor we got in our hands has roughly a gain, an amplification effect of 100. That is at 10 milliamps and 1 volt. So we don't even have information for 5 volts, but I think it remains reasonably constant. 10 milliamps is a reasonably bright LED, but it goes down to a minimum of 30 and a maximum of 300. So if you want precise amplification, you're really going to have to, pull out that voltmeter and do some testing. But if you just want to amplify a current, and control it using something like this, then, your standard transistors are the way to go. Okay, that's it. See you in the next tutorial.